Hello everyone, this is Main Street with Constance. Hope you're having a good time. Now, since it's raining right now, raining cats and dogs, I've already had one flash flood at my house, so hey, are you prepared for bad weather? How more appropriate could this be at this time? So, do you have an emergency car kit or something for your truck? All the needed things, on a day where there's a lot of rain. I'm not calling out the S word, but rain can be quite challenging. Do you have a plan? Do you have a portable charger for your cell phone? There's nothing like needing assistance on the side of the road, and you can't call anybody, you can't reach anybody. But if you have I believe if you use a red flag, I got an emergency, someone may pull over. Can't guarantee that, but someone may. Okay. So you have extra batteries. Doesn't help. I mean, it does help, yes, but it doesn't help if they're sitting on the kitchen table. So how do you plan to stay warm if you've got to pull over on the side of the road? Do you have extra hats and coats, mittens, and that sort of thing? And depending on the type of weather, do you have a windshield scraper? You might need a shovel. Now, have you checked the things on your vehicle? How's your battery? I know you get in and it starts and you feel it's okay, but we've had some chilly, cold nights, and you start it the next day. How does it sound when you start to crank up the vehicle? Does it drag a little bit? I think you need a new battery and you need some other stuff checked out on your vehicle. So, they've got a shovel. They've got them now where they come in small, very, very small sizes like this. They fold up so you can unfold it and dig yourself out of the ditch, whatever it is that you need to do, or snow. So, what about a battery-powered radio with extra batteries? You got flashlights. I have a mini flashlight attached to the key to my vehicle. You never know, you might drop something or whatever, but still, and in my purse I have still a small flashlight, but it's got a big beam on it. So there are all other kind of things that you can do for the weather, and it's been recommended that depending on whether it's rain or snow, maybe you need something to put on your head. Nothing like looking under the hood of the car and the rain is dripping off, and yeah. Okay, the recommendation is on that headgear there, it have a lamp on it. So you don't have to be holding a flashlight. You only got one hand, so now you got two free hands. How about that? Okay. Also, water and snack. You don't know how long you're going to be sitting out on the side of the road. Those helpful little things. Some insurance companies offer them where you can call, and if you've got an issue with your vehicle, they'll come to wherever you are. So those are handy. Maybe want to check your coverage on your insurance, on your vehicle. Maybe they have other things that they might offer you. Okay, being prepared for a winter storm. Right now we've had a lot of rain. The temperature's been kind of low. But so what do you have? You have to have a plan for your vehicle, but you need a plan for home. And everybody in the house needs to have maybe some kind of cheat sheet for the kids to remind them of what their responsibilities are during a power outage possible. So preparing for a winter storm. We've got cold temperatures, power failure, lots of communication services. Some may work, some may not. The icy roads. So we talked about preparing your vehicle. How about preparing for your home? So got some questions to ask you, especially at home. Now, if the power goes out, is your home all electric, or do you have gas? Or I have both. I have electric and gas. So some way or another, I'm going to have heat, and we're going to be able to eat. So think about food, water, heat. Do you have a fireplace, or do you have a heater? Do you have a kerosene heater? I put in a gas heater on the wall so we can stay warm in the large room. That way, you don't have to worry about heating up all the rooms. Outdoor water spigots, are they frost freeze? Do you know what that means? So if you got a water spigot outside and it's uncovered, you know, that's just a good spot right there for the water to freeze, and then you got a whole new mess to deal with. But you can get a frost-proof one where when you turn the water on, the little inside the tube pulls back, lets the water out. When you shut it off, it shuts the water off, and the rest of the water remains inside underneath the house. It's not out in the cold for it to freeze and the cap burst off, and now you've got a freezing waterfall outside. So check on that. Do you know where your water shutoff is? So if you burst a pipe and it's gushing and running and you can't figure out what to do, can't find a plumber and all this sort of stuff, you need to know where to shut the water off. Number 2 on that one is, do you have a device to shut it off with, okay? I keep one in my garage at all times. And yes, we know where the water shutoff is. And those are important things, especially during a very freezing cold. What happens during a power outage? I've talked about this before. I signed up with the electric company with my cell phone number. So when I call in from my cell phone, it immediately knows my location. It has the address, and it knows who the owners are, whose name is on the bill for sure. So that way, they can already start looking for location and telling you what the issue is, how long it's going to take, that sort of thing. They'll ask you questions. Are you the only one without power? Do your other neighbors around you, do they have power or do they not? Are there any power lines down? They'll ask you a series of questions. So before you call, make sure you've checked around in your surrounding area to see maybe what the problem is. Maybe a tree fell on the line. So that's information you can share with them, and that is very helpful to the linemen that come out and do the repairs. I mentioned kerosene heaters, gas heaters. Do you have candles? You got flashlights? You got an outdoor fire pit, grill? Or do you have a fireplace inside the house? So you've got to think about this. This may last a while, the outage may last a while, and so what are we going to eat? Chips and all that sort of stuff, but that's not really eating. You could cook, do hot dogs or whatever, maybe some popcorn, but if you've got a grill outside with a cover over it, then maybe you can fire it up. And I'm not talking an electric grill. I'm talking about where you put in the coals and spray the fluid on it and fire it up. And that's one way where you could, hamburgers, hot dogs, who knows what all else that you can cook out on the grill. But those are things to think about. You must have that as part of your plan. During serious weather, you never know how long the power will be out. I remember the longest I think we've gone in my neighborhood. I think we did about 12, 13 hours. So pretty much the entire neighborhood, because it was early in the, what I call early afternoon, it was in the summertime. So we had plenty of light. We all went to town and ate out at one of the local restaurants there. My entire neighborhood did this. So they weren't prepared for us. But anyway, just think about those things. So if you got a big freezer, do not open and close the door regularly. Let it stay there. It'll maintain for a good 24 plus hours before it starts to thaw out. Okay, so we will catch up with you later. Hey everybody, more information on Main Street happenings? Check here, Main Street with Constance.
Brought to you by Bledsoe Telephone Cooperative in the Sequatchie Valley.